It's a great day to grow your business. I'm Victor Holman, CEO of Lifecycle Performance Professionals, and today I'd like to share with you the main reasons why businesses fail. Over the past 14 years, I've done extensive research on what makes the most successful businesses in America and all throughout the world successful. And I found that there are key concepts and processes that make them successful. In contrast, I've also studied many businesses that have failed, and I've found that it doesn't matter where your business is, it doesn't matter what your business is, there are common pitfalls that bring down nearly every unsuccessful business. I've learned that if you can avoid these common pitfalls, you can drastically increase your chances of building a highly profitable, sustainable business. All right, what are the reasons for business failure? Number one reason for business failure is lack of direction. Failure to establish specific goals and plans to achieve all your goals. Lack of a business plan. The inability to a business plan is a sign of incompetence and a sign that you're not ready to be a business owner. It's pretty much equivalent to a builder learning how to do a blueprint. Number two, the next one is impatience. Trying to do too much too soon is a major reason for failure. Number three is greed. Trying to kill the market, trying to make a quick killing, trying to be an instant millionaire is a major reason for failure. And number four, action without thinking. Just throwing yourself at things without taking the time to plan, to identify what the steps you have to do, how you're going to do them, and then implementing that plan. Remember, planning pays off 10 to 1 in execution. For every 1 minute you spend in planning, you'll save 10 minutes in execution. Number five, poor cost control. Overspending, especially at the beginning, is a killer. Most companies sink because they run out of money. And they can never get started. Number six is poor products. You find out if your products are very poor or your service are very poor, you're not going to sell a lot of stuff. You're going to suffer and you're going to actually lose a lot of money in advertising because eventually your reputation is going to get out there. People are going to realize that your products aren't good and you're going to go down and you're going to pay at the end. There's a saying, the more you advertise a poor product, the faster you're going to go down. But the more you advertise a good product, the greater chances you're going to have fast results and immediate impact. One of the biggest successes in business is just simply being able to recognize a poor product and making sure that you keep your name and your business from being associated with that poor product. The next thing is insufficient working capital. Starting your business without enough money to last for a certain period of time is a major reason for failure. I know many people who just go down because they expect that their business is going to be so good and that it's going to be so successful and they're going to immediately make this money back, so they underplan for how much it's going to cost. So the basic rule for cash flow is determine how much you're going to need and then allocate 3 times that amount. Determine how long it's going to take to get into the black and then make it at least twice that long. Minimum 6 months to get into the black to start any new enterprise. And that's if you have everything going for you. And it's funny, you wouldn't believe how many people I've sat down and talked to, and they told me, hey, Vic, this is the greatest business plan. It's going to work. This is such a great idea. Everybody loves it. Everything's going to be great. And in 3 months or 6 months, I'm going to be, I'm going to make all this money back, and everything's going to be great. And then I say, well, what if you don't? Then what? And they say, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, what if you don't make this money back in 3 months or 6 months? Then what? What's going to happen to your business? Are you going to be able to survive an additional 3 or 6 months or 12 months in order to gain the success that you expected to get in just those 3 months? So always remember, you want to make sure that you plan enough time and allocate enough funds before you really get started in your venture, or there's a great chance that you might end up failing before you ever really get started. If you have the best product in the world and no competition, you have the best marketing, everything's going for you, it still takes customers in the marketplace a long time to adapt to the fact that there's a new person on town, there's a new kid on the block. People are really reluctant to try new things. So therefore, even if you have a super product and everybody tells you it's fantastic, remember, it's going to take some time before people reach the point that they're going to buy from you. All right, the next one is bad or non-existent budgeting. Not having the right forms for budgets in your business is going to kill you. I've seen people who have just not been able to make a profit because they don't have a budget. A budget tells you everything. It tells you everything that's going to cost you off of a product. And you know how many companies, suffer losses and don't even know it because they haven't done their forms and they haven't done their budgeting properly? So inadequate financial records and the inability to set up financial systems and accounting systems is a major killer for business failure. One of the biggest sins out there are business owners who don't take financials as a key function within their business. They focus on the product, they focus on maybe marketing, they focus on the things that they do well, but they shy away from the things that they may not know so well, and oftentimes that's finance. And they do a great disservice to themselves by not implementing a solid accounting system for their business. And they're actually clueless. They can't make good decisions, and they don't really know where they stand. And then a lot of businesses go under before they even have the red lights or the red flags that tell them that they're in trouble. Another reason is lack of momentum in your sales and your marketing and your performance systems. Oftentimes businesses, they do really good, they strive, but eventually they become more stagnant. Certain strategies stop working and they no longer improve and have growth. And that loss of momentum is a number one reason that businesses fail. Very few businesses go broke when sales are good or when performance is very high. But when sales decline, that's when all of the troubles appear and the ship goes under. So the lack of recognizing this stagnant stuff, the lack of having the information that tells you that you need to switch it up, you need to change things around, is one of the greatest reasons for business failure. The next one is indecisiveness. The inability to make decisions in key situations, and when times get difficult, the inability to cut back when things go wrong is a major reason. The inability to deal with competent or incompetent staff or wanting to hurt their feelings is one of the greatest reasons for failure. So what do? They keep this incompetent person in place while the business is going down, and they end up suffering for it. Very important. When you find these people that are incompetent, you got to get rid of them. You got to get rid of them quick. Big companies, they can afford to carry ineffective people for a long period of time, but small businesses, they go bankrupt when you have incompetent staff working for you. The next one. Bad human relations with your staff, with your suppliers, with your bankers, with your creditors. Regardless, that can hurt you. The next one, diffusion of effort, lack of priorities, going off on tangents. It's very important that you develop the capacity to concentrate single-handedly on one thing. The ability to concentrate single-handedly on your highest value in cash is one of the critical things for business success. One of the major reasons that businesses fail is because they try to do too many things at one time and they spread themselves too thin. So remember the 80-20 rule. 20% of your products is going to bring 80% of your profits. And you always have to be working on that 20% of the products that bring your 80% of the profits. If you enjoyed this video, then join my Business Mastery Insider Secrets Club. There you'll have access to all my business mastery systems, over 1,000 business strategy videos, over 100 hours of Business Mastery University courses. You'll access my 10 business assessment tools, my 12 business planning tools, the Small Business Makeover, the 120-day performance challenge, the 6-month internet blueprint, thousands of business articles, over 700 business templates, and over 100 of my favorite business strategy ebooks. All of this for just $29 a month for a limited time. So join now.